Well, what a difference 24 hours make. We were here talking about the debate, wondering what was going to happen, and we certainly saw it last night. Yep. We're entering a new phase in the race for the White House after both candidates laid it all out there last night in the first debates.
And that's right, as you can see from the rundown here on the side. This is the hottest story, 5 at 6:30. We've got a lot going on. People are still excited about that debate last night. We want to know what you thought about the debate. So tweet us right now and use that hashtag 5 at 6:30. All right, let's get it started. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton debated for the first time last night, and they did not disappoint. Did you grab your popcorn, Jim?
No. It was, what, 81.6 million people watched it last night?
A ton of people were watching it. They went back and forth on everything from emails to ISIS, tax returns, and temperament. And here's what they had to say today after their first face-off.
Well, he didn't ask her about the emails at all. He didn't ask her about her scandals. He didn't ask her about the Benghazi deal that she destroyed. He didn't ask her about a lot of things that she should have been asked about.
I think viewers got a real chance to begin to compare us on policy.
It's interesting to see their reactions today compared to last night. Last night, Donald Trump said, I think Lester Holt did a good job. Just there, you heard him criticize that he didn't ask certain
this,
questions.
that, and the other thing. And remember, he praised him at first, and then about a week or so said, well, he's a Democrat, which he wasn't. He's a registered Republican. There you have it. Back and forth a lot. We want to bring in Brandon Cooper, who's the vice chairman of the Prince George's County Republican Central Committee, and Sarah Badawi, who's senior lobbyist for Progressive Change Campaign Committee. Hello to both of you tonight.
Good evening.
All right, let's start with, I know, Sarah, you were here last night. We'll start with you. Just give us your takeaway on what you saw last night.
Sure. I think one thing that was clear is Donald Trump can't even hold his own next to Hillary on the debate stage, nor should he be anywhere near the White House. Meanwhile, Hillary made some great points on things like debt-free college, income inequality, and criminal justice reform. But there were many issues that the candidates didn't get to. Seniors who depend on Social Security, students who really want to understand what's going to happen to their student debt, families whose savings took a hit on Wall Street. None of those things came up.
Hey, Brandon, let me ask you, who do you think won last night's debate?
It was a close draw, but I would say Donald Trump edged it out a little bit. I mean, this is, I think, Hillary Clinton's 8th campaign, so she's a little experienced at this. This is Donald Trump's first. And based off all the comments last night, I think Donald Trump edged it out a little bit. But I don't think it really changed the meter on votes. People are kind of set in their ways of who they're going to vote for.
I think you make a really good point there. I think the undecided voters, I don't know how you could be undecided at this point, but if you were watching last night and you were a Hillary fan, you're probably still a Hillary fan and you're probably still a Donald Trump fan. But you talked about coming prepared or Hillary Clinton having more experience. Do you think Donald Trump was as prepared as he should have been for this debate? Brandon?
It depends on the voter. I think it came across well. I think, again, as Donald Trump said last night, Hillary Clinton has experience, but it's the bad kind of experience. I mean, her votes going back, her support of the crime bill. I heard her talk about criminal justice earlier. I mean, that, to me, is one of her weak parts, her flip-flops on trade. And so she has experience. She's been in government for a long time, but it's not the experience that we need. I think voters are tired of career politicians, and I think Donald Trump is a fresh voice to change.
Hey, Sarah, let me ask you, the first half hour, 45 minutes or so, at least the first part of the debate, I would say that Donald Trump made a very compelling argument for the presidency, and I think that if you based it off the first 30 minutes last night, it was quite a strong showing by Donald Trump. And would you agree that maybe we saw some moments of positivity from Trump?
Well, he started off all right, but as the night went on, the debate was a full 90 minutes, and he struggled to meet her both on substance and style. Hillary was calm, cool, and collected. She stood powerfully in her experience and knowledge on a lot of the top issues. But again, I'm looking forward to October 9th, where they're going to have another go at this. But the really cool thing on October 9th is that voters like you and me across the country are going to be able to participate by submitting questions online. And the Open Debates Coalition today announced that they're going to be facilitating that. So if you want to see more issues discussed, like expanding Social Security, Wall Street accountability, a public option in healthcare that the candidates didn't get to last night, go to presidentialopenquestions.com and submit your own and vote and become a part of this process.
Hey, Sarah, if you could, you mentioned some of those things. What else would you, if you could speak directly to Donald Trump, what question would you have asked him last night?
Sure. I would be curious what his plan is to help students graduate from college debt-free. We know Hillary has a wonderful proposal on that that's comprehensive. I'd love to know how he would talk to seniors about retirement security and how we not only ensure there are never cuts to Social Security, but actually expand benefits for seniors. And I'd love for him to talk more about what we're going to do to improve upon the ACA, maybe a public option. All three things are points that Hillary has campaigned boldly on, and I hope we see her continue to keep the volume high throughout the rest of the campaign.
And Brandon, same question to you. If you were sitting next to Lester Holt last night and it said, all right, Brandon Cooper, what's your question for Hillary Clinton? What would that be?
I have two questions. One, I asked her why she
said one.
Oh,
no.
one, okay. Well, her position on trade. So many questions to ask that were not asked last night. But
Sure,
trade,
I get it.
Whether it's TPP or NAFTA, she's bounced around over the last decade on so many positions, just this year with Bernie Sanders in the primary. So I will really find out her position on trade and where she stands on that. I think that's one issue that affects economy and jobs for all Americans.
Brandon, one of the issues that Hillary Clinton seemed to ruffle Donald Trump's feathers on was when she started talking about his tax returns and when she started talking about, maybe he didn't want to release them because he didn't make as much money as he said. Do you think Donald Trump at this point needs to come out and release his tax returns, or is this going to be a hot-button issue that's just going to continue out through the last 40 or so days?
I think the mystery of it is always going to be, attractive meat for the opposing party to go after, but I think it's actually a red herring. I think there are so many more issues that are being talked about at the kitchen tables across America right now, whether it's education, jobs, income, criminal justice reform. I just think that the taxes of Donald Trump is an issue because of the mystery, but at the end of the day, I think it's a red herring.
It's actually the one thing we got a lot on Facebook last night was we're done with the taxes, we're done with the emails. So both sides are hitting that. All right, Brandon Cooper, Sarah Badawi, we appreciate you both joining us here tonight. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm sure we'll see you again soon in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.